What's up, everybody? I'm back. New shirt, new day. The sun is shining, but I need a smaller favor before we hand the ball over to Jason today, okay? Last night I'm making a filing where I'm asking you for another reverse split. Don't worry, trust the process. Only a 1 for 2 or a maximum of a 1 for 100. And I do realize that this is the second time in less than 30 days I'm asking for such a favor, but we are out of compliance, you see, okay? Trust the process. It's fine. It's nice. I'm still happy, but we were only over $1 for 6 days. And if we don't get back over within 2 weeks or thereabouts, over to the OTC. So I need you to do me a favor before you settle in nicely with some cappuccino, a gelato, a little spiked eggnog. You know, it's nice that time of the year. I need you to give me a thumbs up on that. But before I let you go, after the new year, I'd like to fly all of you that are willing to come to a New York City. And I'll even bring a Jason along. You know, someone I called affectionately hashtag a fake news and small D. Big guy, but I think he has a small D, along with the screenshots in case that ever goes to a court. But at any rate, I'm going to need you all to come. Accommodations provided, okay? It's nice. And I need you to stand in a single file outside of our store in New York City and apologize, okay? Because about 9 or 10 months ago, or thereabouts, I said you guys are going to owe me an apology. Well, the stock is down. Reverse split adjusted 99.27% since I uttered those words. But it could have been a much worse. You might have lost everything. All of that and more coming right up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, no, I've never seen such a thing. 30 years in the business, half of it as a broker, from 1993 to 2007 when I got wiped out in options. I'll tell you that story. Even though I was right, I had hundreds of thousands of NASDAQ 100 puts, but I was 6 months in front of the crash in terms of housing in South Florida. But I've never seen in all my fucking years not only 3 reverse splits, or at least a third one proposed in less than 2.5 years since going public, but in less than 30 days, you go from number 2 to requesting number 3. There was a filing last night, and I understand, and I did scan it quickly. It's a minimum of 1 for 2 to a maximum of 1 for 100. What? You might be asking yourself, what the fuck is going on? Well, answer, they're out of compliance. They were only over $1 for 6 days. So he's got about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks tops, or they're going to kick his ass to get over $1 and stay there, or they're going to kick his ass over to the OTC, no questions asked. But as many of you rightly pointed out, he's going way above the rule 3810 that says you can't have more than a 1 for 250 reverse inside of 2 years if he goes that big. So look, in closing, before I move on to more important things, including Mullen, if you still own it, if it's me, I stay away. I sold it reverse split adjusted at $2.80, which was 0185 or somewhere thereabouts. This reeks of more dilution. They've already added about $3.5 billion plus whatever the hell they're doing today since the reverse split with Yorkville. They still have authorization to add hundreds of millions of shares. Excuse me. I've never seen it all my fucking life. And if this ever goes to court, forget all the chastising that he's done and all the exhibits we have about him demanding an apology or going to be the last one who laughs when he's wiped out virtually 99 point something odd percent of shareholder value. I don't think he's going to survive in this country for much longer. I think he's going to escape. I think he's going back to Sicily or somewhere else because there's no way that someone this inept, this corrupt, this fucking horrendous with respect to enhancing and maintaining shareholder value is going to survive. If the board of directors happens to be watching this video, and you will never see MCOM or MULN in the title of my videos, but I will occasionally mention them if it's appropriate. What are you doing? There's got to be a reason why the other CFO left, right? Now they've got another Gian, whatever the fuck his name is, that he's been there. Do you honestly trust the books? Do you honestly believe that a company that is requesting a third reverse split, a second in 30 days, is above board? I don't, and I would stay the fuck away if I was you. Yes, I have a closet full of these. If the occasion warrants, if we get What? Look at what the fuck is up with all this green. We got nothing to complain about. I'll get to it in a second. Quad witching is tomorrow. We have 3 stocks in particular that are in play, all 3 of which are cranking as we speak. But, Mullen, you're in a rock, caught between a rock and a hard place. Full disclosure, I sold the stock to offset massive capital gains tax requirements at 18 cents. Got rid of MCOM at 280. They're down massively, even though Mullen is up from 11 and change to 13 and a quarter last time I looked. Look, they're shipping vehicles. They're going to generate tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue, retrofitting or converting Chinese vans. Everybody knows that. That might be a solid business for a year or two. But by the same token, you've got to vote. It's going to be counted in the next few days. Let's assume it doesn't pass. I see a lot of people, including inside of our Discord, and I understand why, that are voting it down. No, okay, now what? You're going to go to the pink sheets? You're going to what? Spend a year or two burning through that $200 million? No more dilution? No more reverse split? We're just going to let it drift down to what? A nickel, a penny, a dime? Where? What? You're damned if you do it. You're damned if you don't, because I personally think, based on the way the stock is trading, that they're going to get it through one way or another eventually in terms of the reverse split. And they're probably going to go big or go home. 1 for 25 to 50 to 1. In other words, they're going to want somewhere around a $2.50 to $5 stock so they can do what? Issue more shares, of course, in a more ethical, non-toxic manner, but you have a guy and a team and a toxic lender group, 2 of which out of the 3 majors have either gone to prison or been indicted. Do your homework. These are not the above board, salt of the earth, Mother Teresa types. So if you trust them to do what's in your best interest, good luck. I honestly say, before I transition to what's going on in our core holdings and what is important about quad witching tomorrow, I honestly would love to see both of them crank. I really would. I'll take all the pies in the face you want to give me. Tar and feather me and run me around town. I'll even wear a shirt like this with the white jeans. Make all the fun of me that you want. I would love to see him double, triple, quadruple so that some of you that refuse to let go of that fucking bag that's holding you back because you could have had 16 winners in less than 6.5 weeks inside of our Discord and been completely, like hundreds of people, out of the ditch. But you don't want to let go for whatever reason. I understand the sentimental value, especially if you know the story behind the company and you happen to believe in it. But if it happens, and I really hope it does, for the love of God all fucking mighty, get the fuck out of the stock and get on with your life. Last trade on the Q's 404, right? Got up to 406. The market's tired. I didn't say last night that it was going to crash. I said since the October 27 low, when you melt up 20 to 30% or more in those individual names, 7 of them inside of the NASDAQ, that's 2/3 of the fucking move in the last 2 months, you're in nosebleed territory. You're way away from home base, which is a 50-day moving average. So we've got one of 2 choices. We come down 3 to 5% over the next month, or we go sideways and churn and burn and go absolutely nowhere until the moving averages can catch up. As I've said in the last, 25 or 30 videos, we are in a major, massive secular bull market. It's about halfway done. It began shortly after the 2009 bottom in March, and it's going to go to approximately 2034 or 5. Driven by demographics, the millennials and Gen Z is twice the size of the boomers that melted the market up big time from the 80s to 2000 in the dot-com bubble burst. You now have AI, which is bigger than the internet that Al Gore invented and the cell phone combined. When they merge humanity with AI, we are going to have fucking flying cars and trips to Mars. And if it's not children born today, it's definitely going to be their kids that could live to be 150 or even 200 years old once they get all this nanotechnology flowing throughout our veins and able to chew away heart blockages and cure cancer at the drop of a fucking click. But it's not going to be without recessions. There were 2 or 3 or 4 recessions in the prior 2 that lasted 26 and 27 years. So every 3 or 4 years or thereabouts is going to be a recession. There's going to be a number of corrections. There was close to a half a dozen in the last one that lasted 27 years. So we're going to have 10 to 20, 25% pullbacks. and maybe a mini bear market, but we're not going to have the cut in halves, S&P, NASDAQ down 50%. That does happen at least every 7 to 10 years. That's most likely, in my humble opinion, going to happen in the middle of the next decade when the millennials and the Gen Zs are starting to retire and invest and spend less, just like the boomers did in 2000 before shit hit the fan. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in closing, we have 8 core holdings. All of them except for 1 or 2 are up today. Some are up significantly. Yeah, I see GMBL at 0218. Look, you're welcome. If you fucking bought the stock when I got fucking fired yesterday by 4 people at 014 and change, when we had a guy bought millions of shares and he blew it out close to 2, and he may have bought back more because he's got 3 million at 018. You could have made 50 or 60 fucking % on your money. And by the time this, which is one of the 3 stocks that does have options tomorrow, when Quad Witch is done by 5 p.m., this thing might be 3, 4, 5 cents a share. Am I going to get anybody to join us at trysmallbiz.com? Probably not. But you know what? It's only $50 a month for the next 2 fucking years. And we've got whales inside of the Discord that are making over 100 G's a month. So pay attention to GMBL, another stock that starts with M, another that's W. Those are the 3 that are going to be in play with respect to options. The others are just doing what they normally do when this motherfucker right here says it's time to buy. And until next time, always remember that I love you, and thanks for watching. Epic.